Buongiorno! Hello, and it's this time, well, obviously Italian shirts. Let's do a little bit of representation for our Italian brothers and sisters. I don't have as many as maybe you'd expect, or as much as I'd like, but I think there's enough in here for a solo video itself. Italian football kind of has a weird place in my heart and the heart of a lot of English football fans. We sort of grew up watching it on a Sunday morning, I believe. And when it was really in its heyday, when Italian football was the football to watch in the world. Because of that, there's so many teams that you can look at their shirts and you really get a sort of a sense of history with regards to them. So when it comes to collecting them, in England specifically, I'd say, you get a lot of shirts that are available. And because of that, as a collector, you kind of avoid picking those shirts right now because they're so readily available. You find yourself thinking, well, there's never not going to be a time where I can't pick up a Juventus shirt or a Roma shirt or a Lazio shirt. So that's the reason why I don't have one yet. So in the handful that I do have, there's a few major teams, but there's a few of the slightly lesser ones, just purely because the smaller teams, you just don't get that much of an opportunity. But that being said, let's jump straight into it, and we've got this Hellas Verona shirt, which is their home one from 2014-15. There was a load that hit the online retailers about 3 years ago, and they were really cheap, so just picked it up. Since then, I've not really seen that many more. I think Macron are actually manufacturing their stuff right now, and I think you can buy their shirts from their website directly. But other than that, I've not seen many of them. The shirt's decent enough. It's standard colours, you get your standard sponsor. It's Nike. It's okay. Pleased with that one. So, I don't have all that many big teams in the leagues that I do have representation, but in Italy I have both the Milan teams, and this is obviously AC Milan. This is their away shirt from 2014-15, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I like the gold of the sort of the crest. I like the cream main body, the red and the black. I like the Change logo, which was their logo of their new academy or some new facility at the very least. It cost me, I could have got it a bit cheaper. I got it right at the beginning when I was sort of buying cheap ones but also buying expensive ones. I didn't quite find the best places to buy them all, so it did cost me, I think it was like 45. So, but it really is a remarkable shirt, and I'm very happy that it turned out to be as it was. Can't care about another shirt which turned out to be nice. It was this Bari home shirt from 2017-18. So again, Bari, there's not many opportunities to pick up a shirt from this. So when a few of them hit the stars, I was like, I'll pick that up, especially because it was so cheap. And I'd never owned a shirt that was manufactured by Zeus, and this is still the only one. And it's really good, really, really good. I'd seen plenty of Italian shirts for sale, sort of, that were manufactured by them, and I was kind of like, is it going to come with tags? Is it going to be good quality? Blah, blah, blah. Yes, yes, yes. So when I opened it up from the packaging, I was like, I'm really, really pleased with this, especially because it was quite cheap. So can't go wrong with that. Okay then, so we have this Sassuolo shirt from 2016-17. Kappa, very elasticated, very stretchy, cool colour combination. It's part of the range where the sponsor's really high up. I kind of like a sponsor to be a bit further down. It's almost touching the logo. It's a bit too sort of crowded, especially when you've got all the bottom of the shirt to play with. But I think again it was relatively cheap. I got it towards the end of the season in the sales, so I thought, let's just pick it up. You don't see many of these pulling around. Now I think this Fiorentina shirt was probably one of the first shirts I ever bought. I say that a lot, but I think this is definitely one of the first sort of 10. And it was the sort of the cup version of their home shirt when they played Napoli in the final. To be honest, I don't know who won that game, but it's, yeah, for me Fiorentina is one of those teams which you watch and you remember, you just think, all the amazing players and all of their kits that they've worn, and some of them are some of the best historically relevant shirts that ever existed. This one, maybe not so much, but it still has the purple, the violet. And it's pretty cool. And it got me sort of interested in sort of the special shirts, with this one being the cup one. I did have an opportunity to buy the Napoli version of this, so the corresponding shirt to the final. I didn't do it for whatever reason. I kind of wish I did, but at least I've got one half represented. So we have Atalanta, which is maybe my most recent Italian one, or not the second most recent. And it's the 2017-18 one, and it's again beautiful, black, blue, works perfectly. Joma, as always, perfect shirts. I mean, I don't usually care for shirts that have the logo in the centre, but this one, it works kind of okay. If it was above the left breast, then yeah, maybe make it perfect. But other than that, it's really nice. You don't see many Atalanta shirts, and when you did, they didn't have any sponsors on them, so I knew when this appeared I had to buy it. But yeah, it's a beautiful shirt. So we've hit Napoli, and it's the away shirt from 15-16, and I kind of regret buying this because I don't like it. It's grey, it's Kappa, it's stretchy. I mean, it was cheap, so it's like not the end of the world, but I feel like they've just released so many shirts recently and over the years that were so much better than this one. So I kind of feel a bit bad that this is my representation for Napoli. Like the home shirts in the last few seasons with the crazy designs on them, the lions or whatever it was, the wolf, etc. Just so much better. But yeah, this is what it is. So I'm definitely going to have to upgrade this at some point. I'm not too pleased with that one, to be honest. So the other half is Milan, and this is Internazionale, and I bought this at sort of the same time as the AC Milan shirt, and it was a 2014-15 home shirt, and this is a beautiful shirt. When I compared them both together, I was like, this is a good year for Milan. Maybe not necessarily footballing wise, but certainly for creating football shirts. I like the thin blue sort of vertical stripes. Usually you see a more thicker one, more equal in widths compared to the black, but this really works out really nice. You don't see any. I think I saw one equivalent quality of this shirt where it was brand new with all the tags attached, and it was like up for like £85, something like that, and it just sold instantly within the day that it popped up. So it's kind of made me think, okay then, so we've got quite a bit of a sort of valuable one here. But I ain't gonna ever sell this one. It's just a beautifully put together shirt. So penultimately we have Bologna away, 2017-2018. Very similar. In fact, it's the same shirt pretty much as my Valur shirt, the Icelandic team. You've got the sash going across, which is sort of made up of all the, well, I guess you'd say supporters. I don't know if it's specific supporters, if they're sort of contributors in more than just a sort of ticket holder, but their names adorn the front, and it's of course made by Macron, as they're based in Bologna, so they're most likely going to make their shirts probably forever longer. The only problem with this one is it's elasticated. This is the only Macron shirt I've ever seen where they've decided to go for an elasticated style, and it's kind of disappointing because they make such great shirts usually. And if this shirt, if it was like the Valur shirt, it would just be your typical standard 100% polyester, and it would be amazing. Whereas this one, being elasticated, it's a little bit something off it. But other than that, it's a really nice shirt, and I picked it up at the end of the sales, and it was a good price. And to be honest, I've not seen anybody else with this one, so that's always nice. And then finally, we have to finish with what maybe the most iconic team in Italy, maybe, who knows, Parma. This is the away shirt from 2011-12. This was one of their iterations before they went bust. How many times I've done that, I don't know. But yeah, it's not that. So I picked this up, but it was quite a decent price. And then a couple of years ago, they started releasing some amazing shirt designs. Their third shirts were just ridiculous, and everyone was going crazy for them. And they were for sale, and they were very readily available. And I was like, do I take the hit? Do I replace this one here with the more sort of contemporary shirt? And I decided against it. I thought, you know what, I'm going to stick with this older one. it's a bit more history. It's not part of the glory days, but it's not too far removed from it. And you know what, it's probably going to have some value at some point in the future. The design is not particularly outstanding. It sort of fits together quite nicely, but there's nothing there that stands out and goes, yeah, okay then. Maybe if it was a home shirt, it would be better, but that's what it is. But that's where I'm at now with Italian shirts. I do like Lazio shirts and Roma shirts and Juventus shirts. I do like these ones, and recently you've been able to pick up Udinese shirts or Spal shirts quite readily. But for whatever reason, I just don't seem to buy many. Maybe I should focus on that. I think I could probably finish Serie A quite quickly if I really put my head to it. Maybe just Sampdoria is the most difficult one because they just don't seem to have sponsors. But other than that, that's all my Italian shirts. Yeah, hope you enjoyed watching it. Subscribe, follow, do all that jazz, and I will see you in the next video. Arrivederci.